Justice with Judge Mablean will be life because in everything we do, it involves the law. Where's your witness?
In the evidence.
That's hearsay.
It's notarized.
I still say it's hearsay.
She's fair.
You gotta help these young men learn how to do this the right way.
Yes, Your Honor.
She's firm.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, I don't
Okay.
need to say anything else.
She's honest.
I'm not your child and I'm not your friend. That's the order of the court. Goodbye.
This is Justice with Judge Mablean.
This is the matter of Michael Kelly versus Vanessa V., the vixen. You're suing her for $3,500. You said she went too far and caused you a little too much pain in your BDSM therapy session.
Correct, Your Honor.
Whew. You said, nope. A guy his size was able to handle it, and he signed a waiver. This will be interesting. So, Mr. Kelly, let me start with you.
Okay.
And
Your
please
Honor.
don't assume that I know what you're talking about, okay?
You got it.
right.
I'm new to it myself. So, my name is Michael Kelly. I am a lead crane operator in the great city of New York. I work for a construction firm. I came into contact with Miss Kelly about a year ago, actually, through a social app called Kinkler.
Kinkler.
Kinkler, kind of like a Tinder for the BDSM community.
Okay, let's not use that phrase and throw
You
it
got it.
around. Let's define it right now.
Sure, BDSM, bondage and sadomasochism.
There's a D in there somewhere. What does that stand for?
Oh, that's the bondage, yeah.
It stands for discipline, Your Honor. Sorry to
Okay.
interrupt.
There we go.
What does it stand for?
It's bondage, discipline, sadism, and masochism.
And masochism.
Yes.
And this is a therapeutic session?
Yeah, it's not in our agreement, this was not oftentimes, that community can be, there can be like a sexual part to it. This was not that. This was like a physical therapy session.
Physical therapy in bondage, discipline, sadism, and masochism.
Yep.
Now, you explain physical therapy under those circumstances.
Yeah, it's like a massage, but with whips.
A massage with whips?
With whips.
Why would anyone want to do that?
I used to ask myself the same question. My job as a crane operator is a high-pressure job. I work a lot of overtime. I also oversee my group, anywhere over a dozen guys up on that rooftop. We're moving heavy equipment all day, every day. It's a very stressful job. I was finding myself pretty tense all the time, and I was exploring many different avenues to relax, from massages, playing sports, this and that. Nothing was really working. One night I was out for drinks with a buddy.
I was about to say, don't forget drinks. Didn't you explore that one too?
Yeah, I had a couple of drinks. Drinks were involved. So I'm out with a buddy. He mentions this Kinkler app. Really wasn't my realm, so to speak. But after a couple more drinks, it started sounding like a more sound idea. So I signed up for it, the app. When you sign up for these apps, other than just making like a profile, you got to do some questionnaires. They ask you what you're interested in, what your tolerances are, things like that. I wasn't totally sure, so I did just a couple things, and that put me in contact with Miss Vanessa, the vixen, or Vixie, as I came to know her over the course of the year.
So that's your name. You're known as the vixen, huh?
Yes, Vanessa the Vixen. Like he said, he came up with the nickname of Vixie, but yes, I am known as the #1 Vixen.
And this, it was therapeutic in a way, because when you have that much stress, I found afterwards, like I said, first I was just trying it out. And I liked it because it felt good to let go of control. I'm in control of a lot of people all week.
Okay.
A lot of people answer to me. I got to keep an eye out for them. It was nice to I found myself being relaxed by not so much, the physical pain, but the release was being not fully in control and letting someone else.
So tell me, what do you do when you say not the pain? What does it consist of?
Well, it does consist of some pain, but also things that don't hurt as well. Usually a session would last for about an hour. So I would go and much like a massage, there's a bit of a warm up. I would walk in. Vanessa has a studio where she keeps all of her equipment. So you go in, and depending on what we're doing that day, I might be getting strapped into a chair or.
So you engage in all 4 aspects: bondage, sadism.
More of the bondage and the masochism, I guess.
All of them,
Masochist.
Your Honor. Everything you just named.
I didn't name it because I was trying, but I couldn't.
But you was about to name everything.
So you involved the session, you're involved in all 4 of those.
Yeah.
Bondage, discipline, got it. Sadism, masochism.
Yeah.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
She's not paying attention. She told
But
me later.
she's the one that's hitting you or
She's
using
whipping
it.
and texting, and you should never whip and text.
Wow.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Michael Kelly, who is suing Vanessa V. for lost wages.
Strap your feet down and your body down.
Absolutely.
You can't move, you can't turn, you can't twist.
Not an inch.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a lot of trust involved because, the agreement is, we have these discussions outside, and then once I walk into the studio, she's in control. And that's
I know
part
there
of the
has to be a written agreement of some kind that tells you what you can and can't do. And some way you have to say when it's enough, or I'm hurting, or I don't want any more, right?
Yes, there is. Yes,
So
there is.
why are you suing her today?
So my contention is that after a very, very, very stressful week, I had a lot going on. We had a lot going on the site. I ended up working a ton of overtime. I felt stressed out. I gave her a call to see if she was available, if she had a slot available, because everything's done through appointments. And then she told me she did.
For an hour?
For 30 minutes. So she had a shorter session available. And she was like, if you can make it down here as fast as possible, I could squeeze you in before my last 2 sessions of the night. I agreed, went down. So that was the main difference between the session, is that it was shorter and much more intense.
So what happened?
I knew it was going to be a shorter session. I had never done one before, but I walked in, and due to the shortened nature of it, it got a little more intense, a little quicker. We kind of went right to a situation where I was wearing a gag and couldn't really express some of the safe words. I know that she had some new toys that she wanted to try out, so we get right to it. She starts going. I start feeling more pain, but it was within, what I felt was in my
level.
tolerance. Yeah, but then it started growing, and then I did try to say our safe word, but unfortunately I had a temporary obstruction in my mouth, which prevented me from saying the safe word. And
So
when
if
I
you
tried
have
to
something
make
in your mouth and you can't say the word,
I
could you
tried
raise
to
your
do the
hand?
hand signal, but when I turned around, I saw her on her phone. She's getting text messages every 5 minutes. The music's blasting. She's not paying attention. She told
But
me later.
she's the one that's hitting
So
you or
she's
using
whipping
it.
and texting, and you should never whip and text. It's
Wow. Wow.
So she's whipping and texting,
Yeah.
and you couldn't stop her with your hand signal. Were your hands tied down?
My hands were tied down, so it was kind of
So
like
you couldn't give her a signal.
Absolutely.
And your mouth was gagged, and you couldn't give her a signal.
She could obviously not hear what I was trying to
So
say.
what other ways can you give signals? Can you kick your foot or raise your leg or whatever?
At that point, my legs were also bound, so I was.
No, but how are you supposed to use your quote safe words if you can't speak?
Well, you hope that they are watching you and listening and not texting.
But you're face down?
Wow.
I'm face down.
Wow.
So how could you see what she was doing? You could turn your
I
head?
turned my head a little bit. Yeah, I could see her. I saw the phone. I could hear the ding, ding, ding. I thought I was wearing bells.
Wow.
So what happened?
So, afterwards,
Well, how did we get to
I did say,
$3,500?
3 days later, it's Monday. I go to work. I sit in my crane. I can't even sit. I
You're
couldn't
behind
even
too
take.
sore to sit?
I was too sore to sit. I was too sore to take a cab home. I had to take a subway and just stand. And when I got to work, they sent me home because if my concentration's off, that's a danger. So I immediately go to the emergency room. I go see a doctor. They examine me. Basically, my backside looked like a piece of veal. It was just smashed
Let me
up.
see.
Objection. He doesn't know what veal looks like, Your
How
Honor.
you know?
Oh, come on.
Oh, that was silly. You don't know what he knows in terms of veal.
We talk all the time.
So as you can see, there was
Lesions.
many abrasions and lesions on my skin.
You had to avoid
Lots of
sitting for 7 to 10 days?
Oh yeah, almost 2 weeks I had to call out of work. So I'm basically just suing because at the end of each quarter, I get a $3,500 bonus for attendance, of which I almost always get because I'm always there. But this time, I missed out on enough work that I was ineligible for that. And not only that, but I had been passed over for the promotion because I was out during the selection process, and they knew that I couldn't, perform the duty when the next bid started.
You got to assume the risk of this to do something like this. You have to assume some type of
Absolutely.
risk and some kind of hurt and some kind of pain. Let me see the letter or the contract that you signed. Who
Here you
has
go.
that?
Exhibit 1. I have, this is the contract that
So
I
I'm going
give
to turn
him.
to you now.
Okay. So that's the contract, Your Honor, that he initially signs up for. If you pay attention to number 1 and 2, it actually says that he will be flogged, he will be paddled, that the level of pain may vary, and also there's a statement in there that he will waive the pain threshold unless it's egregious. And I don't believe that this case is
Client
egregious.
acknowledges risk of bruising,
Correct.
blistering, or discomfort. Provider is not liable unless gross negligence can be proven. Client must affirm known medical conditions that would make participation unsafe. Did you have any of those?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Safe words agreed for this session. Hamburger.
Yes.
Means continue. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. They say the words?
Yeah, so like he was
It's a little
talking
hard to
about
say
the.
those.
Excuse me, it's my turn.
All right.
He was talking about the costumes earlier. He likes to dress up like Donatello at times. So
Leonardo,
when he
Your Honor.
feels good about the session, he'll say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Coming up,
And I didn't even use the gag for the first 15 minutes of this
What's the
session.
gag? When you close his mouth?
When we restrict his mouth, we put it in, and I never use a large one because he has a big mouth.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Michael Kelly, who is suing Vanessa V for lost wages.
When he wants me to
Ridiculous.
stop, the key word, and he picked these words himself, is we. Go ahead and say it for her.
We.
Okay, so that's when he wants me to stop. He comes to the session this day. For whatever reason, his bottom is smooth, freshly waxed. I've never experienced that. He normally shows up with his butt as hairy as an 80s mustache, okay? No,
What's the significance of that?
because I feel like he had waxed his bottom, and normally there's hair to pad the paddling, but this day it was smooth, and I felt like because I haven't seen it that smooth,
Had you
it
done a
probably
wax
was irritated.
recently?
I had done a wax recently, but
Within how
we're
many
not
days?
talking a shag carpet.
Within how many days?
It was about 24 hours. It was the day before.
Wow.
I did feel some tenderness on my skin, but no lesions, no bruises, no.
Okay. And did he consent?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yes, he did. Strap him down. We're going. And I didn't even use the gag for the first 15 minutes of this
What's the
session.
gag? When you close his mouth?
Yeah. When we restrict his mouth, we put it in, and I never use a large one because he has a big mouth. So we get started that, and I've been a dominatrix for over 10 years. I'm also a nippular sensation specialist, so I have several certifications in bondage. So I know what
Nor
I'm
am
doing.
I medical.
Let
We're
me-
not questioning your nipple
no. Stop.
mastery.
Stop.
You didn't have a problem with it when you signed up for
I don't
it.
have a problem
when you
with it
signed up
tonight.
for it, you asked for my
I don't have a problem
certifications.
with it
Now
tonight.
today
It's
it's a
not part of
problem.
You
case.
two are going to stop.
Okay.
Coming up,
What were you trying to say?
I was trying to say hamburger. I was trying to say we.
Nah. You said you tried to say
Trying
hamburger.
to say hamburger. He almost wanted to say cheeseburger, Judge.
you're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Michael Kelly, who is suing Vanessa V for lost wages.
He mostly likes to focus on the bottom,
On what?
on his butt.
On his bottom.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so that's what you did.
That's what I did. So
Now,
I
what
took
part
those-
was she hurting that you couldn't say anything? According to you.
When she was hitting me on the bottom,
You were trying to say something and you couldn't?
I was trying to say something and I couldn't.
What were you trying to say?
I was trying to say hamburger.
Hamburger means continue.
Hamburger means continue. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hamburger means continue.
I'm sorry.
Aha.
See,
That's what
got
you
caught
said.
I was trying to say we. I'm
Nah,
sorry.
you said you tried to say
Trying
hamburger.
to say hamburger. He almost wanted to say cheeseburger, Judge.
Sorry.
So
Look,
he liked
it's
it.
not the width of the paddle, it's how you use it. I wasn't nervous about it.
I also have another evidence. It's aftercare instructions for blistering and impact play, including my emergency 24-hour number on the bottom, that if a client does have that type of issue, he didn't say anything to me until Monday night. So for him to say the next day he felt that way, knowing that he could have called me, I have an emergency line as well as aftercare instructions for blisters and things of that nature, he never did that.
No, I did do the aftercare. It was like throwing a cup of water into a forest fire. The burning, because of all the lesions and the cuts.
But it says, but all you had was couldn't sit down on your behind. You couldn't sit down.
I couldn't sit down. Yeah, I couldn't sit.
She
in the
said
cab.
that you could talk. You saying I couldn't use any safe words.
Well, as I said, I'm not bringing her in here for the previous 24 sessions. I was aware. I'm new to this world. She's in the driver's seat. That's why I pay her. It's the one time in my life I get to not be in the driver's seat and I get to trust somebody else. All right, people trust me. I trust them.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
You had a fresh wax, which is anticipated and assumed. You did not call and give her notice immediately of the situation. You waited 4 days before you went to a doctor to seek medical attention about the situation. I don't think she did anything wrong per se, and I really can't know whether you were able to say your words to stop or not. I'm going to order that you give him 1 session free. 1 session free, you said that's $400,
30
right?
minutes or the hour, Judge.
Well, his normal session is an hour.
His normal
Said
is
the same
hour.
either way.
So I say give him an hour. What you want, 30 minutes? Or none?
No, I said she charges the same every hour, so it'd be equivalent to an hour.
Oh, all right.
No waxing.
Within 72 hours before you go, no waxing.
Sure.
Because when you wax, I wax. If you put anything on your behind after you wax, a little alcohol is going to burn.
Just wanted to feel pretty.
See? And it felt pretty. Order of the court is the defendant to provide 1 session of BDSM for the plaintiff at a cost of $400. That's the order of the court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to provide a free 1-hour session to the plaintiff.
She basically just sentenced me to the death penalty, getting another session from her, but I'll take it.
And you love it. You ready to come to Death Row Records. You've been missing me and you know it.
I've been a bad boy.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.